Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about the incorporation of a company for bank law officers examinations Companies Act. How does an incorporation of a company take place? What are the requirements? And these are very important aspects of a law officer who try and verify a company profile for providing loan and other assistance. So what you will learn in this video, we will see formation and minimum numbers requirement. This is a very good area for MC quiz. What is the minimum number of directors required for private company? What is the minimum number required for public company or what person company? The incorporation procedure, the effect of registration, MOA AOA, that is Memorandum of Association and Articles of Association as a contract, in commencement and office. So formation and minimum number of members required. For public company, 7 members is required. For private company, 2 members is required. And for one-person company, only 1 person is enough. So members are severely liable. So this is a very important section that can be asked question. That is section 3A. That is, if any company that falls below this minimum number required, that is either that falls below 7 members or 2 members, then they continue to operate for 6 months with the knowledge. Every member should have the knowledge. If they continue to operate beyond 6 months, those minimum number of members, like say for instance, if the public company, the minimum number of persons fall below 7, and that is 6, and if they continue to operate beyond 6 months with the knowledge, then all the 6 persons would be severely liable for the debts incurred by the company. This is one important section in which the questions can be asked. That is section 3A. Now, incorporation procedure. So first you have to file an application with the registrar with the MOA, AOA declaration, details of subscribers and first directors. So this is the incorporation procedure. You have to file an application with all these documents. On satisfaction, the ROC registers the documents and issues a certification of incorporation. And this is the most important thing. The certificate of information along with corporate identification number is the conclusive evidence that the company is duly registered. Next, the effect of registrations. Once the registration is effected, the company is born. That is under section 9. The company has become a body corporate, so it will have a perpetual succession. That is, even despite death of any of the particular members, the company will keep on keep going on. So there won't be any end of the company unless it is liquidated under sufficient provisions of IBCA or other procedures. And it will have it can sue and be sued because it is a legal person, and it can hold property, and there is a common seal which can be which is optional these days. And if the company wants to do away with the common seal, then they can actually get it signed by a company secretary or someone who is authorized by the board. Next, the effect of MOA and AOA. Once registered, the MOA and AOA bind the company. So that is very important. So once registered, the MOA and AOA bind the company and its members. As if it is signed by each of them, it becomes a statutory contract. It binds all the members, and the money payable by a member is debt due to the company. So it becomes as the money payable by a member. So if a member is payable by, if a member has incorporated the shares, then it will be payable as a debt. So these are the effects of incorporation and effects of MOA and AOA. The effects of MOA and AOA, the very important aspect is the contract becomes binding on all the members and shareholders. Next, commencement and registered office. So just because a company is incorporated, it doesn't mean that the commencement of business has happened until unless you file the declaration INC 20A before starting business. That is, the INC 20A is a confirmation stating that all the subscriber has paid the subscription money, and it must be filed within 180 days of incorporation. So this is another important aspect. So please understand, it must be filed within 180 days of incorporation. So that is another aspect that you have to understand. And every company must have a registered office. That must be, the registered office address must be given within 30 days of incorporation, and it is the official communication and service of documents. And the registered office must have the company's name and CIN must be properly displayed there. Next, name and the conclusive certificate after incorporation. So section 16 and 17 talks about the name, the rectification of name. So if a company is registered with a name identical or too similar to an existing company or registered trademark, then the central government may direct a change. Now note the subtle difference here. It is not the ROC who is directing the change, it is the central government. So this slight deviation can be exploited for MCQs. So you must be thorough in this. So that is very important. You should keep on knowing this again and again, that where there is a deviation, there is a chance for an MCQ to be asked. So here the deviation is usually it is the ROC where gives the incorporation certificate and etc. But however, if the central government feels that the name is identical or too similar to an existing company or it affects registered trademark, then the central government may change the name. So these are the very important things that you must understand, that the conclusive certificate is that once the incorporated certification along with CIN is given by the ROC, the company is conclusively registered. Next, after filing INC 20A, the commencement of business starts, which means that the subscribers have actually subscribed the money. And name change can be triggered by central government. These are the important things that you must understand. So here a quick recap. So the formation and for public company, minimum 7 members are needed. For private company, minimum 2 members are needed. And for one person is enough with the nomination. And members are severely liable if they are below the minimum. If the minimum members are below, and if they continue to operate with the knowledge within 6 months, then that each member is severely liable for the debts. So how does the incorporation starts? You have to do by filing in the ROC with the required documents like MOA, AOA, declarations, directors details, and the subscriber details, along with the certificate of incorporation and CIN. Once the company, when it becomes a body corporate, it becomes a registered company, and the certificate of incorporation along with CIN is the conclusive proof of the registered certificate. However, if the name is too identical with an existing company, or it is affected by the trademark principles, then the central government can effect a change. So this is a very important thing. And the commencement of a business is different from incorporation. The commencement of business happens once the company files INC 20A, and that has to be done within 180 days of incorporation. Then the company must have a registered office. The registered office would be the office where the company's official communication would be sent. The company should also have its CIN and certificate of incorporation prominently displayed, and the registered office must be given within 30 days of the incorporation. Now you can test yourself by a question that says the minimum number of persons required to form a public company is 7, whereas private company is 2. So these are the most important topic for today. So do share it with a person whom it will be helpful. And if you are learning for yourself, if you have any doubt, feel free to comment on the video or ask it. I'll read each and every comments and try and clear the doubts to the best of my ability. Another important thing is I have already completed the SurfaceE series, so you can watch the SurfaceE series in the SurfaceE series videos, which would be very useful for you. And if you really want to practice the questions, I have a website that is Graphy, where there are MCQs and elaborate help is available. You can even have a one-on-one live session with me where I can clear your doubts and help you in achieving your goal of becoming a legal officer. So do share this video with your friends who are preparing for the examinations, and we will see in the next chapter of companies law. All the best for your examinations. Thank you.